All right, today we're powering up the drives and raising the shields to take a deep dive into Full Thrust, a true classic of tabletop space combat.
I mean, have you ever really wanted to design a ship right from the hull up? You get to decide every weapon, every system, and then lead it into a glorious, explosive battle against your friends?
Well, that is the core promise of Full Thrust. You see, its whole reason for being, right from the very beginning, was to give gamers a simple, flexible foundation they could really tinker with. It's all about putting imagination and fun way ahead of memorizing endless, dense rulebooks.
So, in this explainer, here's what we're going to cover. We'll look at how the game was basically forged by its own community. We'll get into the nuts and bolts of designing your very own ships, talk about the amazing stories that happen in battle, meet some of the alien fleets you can run into, and finally, see how this entire game just becomes a sandbox for you to command.
Okay, first up, gaming by the gamers. Now, this isn't just some catchy phrase, you know? It's literally the core design philosophy behind Full Thrust.
And you can hear it straight from the creator, John Tuffley. He makes it crystal clear that the game's expansions and all its little refinements weren't just cooked up in a lab somewhere. Nope, they came directly from the players themselves.
And what's so cool about this is just the sheer variety of the feedback. We're not talking about minor little tweaks here. People were sending in everything from brand new ideas and their own house rules to custom scenarios. And my favorite part? Ship designs that were literally scribbled on the back of old envelopes. It was a true grassroots effort for sure.
So that whole community-first approach leads us right into Section 2, designing your Death Star. Because this is where the game's creativity just absolutely shines.
Okay, so how does it actually work? Well, it's this super simple but really elegant system. You pick a hull size, right? That gives you a mass. Now, half of that mass is automatically used for the basics. The structure, life support, the crew, all that stuff. But the other half, that's your playground. You spend points to add everything from massive cannons to advanced sensors. It's this fantastic balancing act between power, cost, and your overall strategy.
And this is where you have to make some really tough tactical choices. For example, do you go for the wave gun? It's this ridiculously powerful weapon, but it might just blow up in your face if you take a hit at the wrong moment. Or do you go for the cloaking field, which turns you completely invisible, but also blinds you, so you're forced to guess where the enemy is going to be turns from now. It's all about risk versus reward.
So you've built these incredible custom ships. Now what happens when they start blasting each other? Well, that brings us right to Section 3, Miracles and Mutinies. This is where we see how the game's mechanics create these unforgettable, epic stories.
And this quote from the rulebook? It just perfectly nails the spirit of the damage control system. Your ship is battered, systems are failing all over the place, and it's time for your crew to get, well, really creative.
So here's how it works. Let's say your main weapons just got knocked offline. You can assign your damage control parties to try and fix it. For every team you put on the job, you get to roll 1 die. What you're desperately looking for is a 6. It's one of those nail-biting, hold-your-breath moments that can snatch victory right from the jaws of defeat. The question is, can your engineers pull it off?
But hey, why destroy a ship when you can just, steal it? If you can manage to carefully match an enemy's speed and their course, you can launch a boarding party. And this kicks off a frantic, close-quarters battle that's all resolved with dice rolls. It's super high risk, but the reward? A brand new warship for your fleet.
All right, so you've mastered human technology. But the universe is a pretty big place, right? So let's hit Section 4, First Contact. It's time to meet the aliens.
First up, we've got the Kravak. The lore describes them as having a kind of racial paranoia, which makes them relentlessly aggressive. And their big advantage? It's all in their drive technology. You see, while human ships can only use half their thrust to turn, Kravak ships can use all of it. This makes them terrifyingly agile. They can pull off these sudden, drastic maneuvers that can completely throw you for a loop.
And then you've got the Savasku. These guys are something else entirely. Their ships aren't built, they're grown. We're talking about living, symbiotic creatures. And their power source? It is wonderfully, beautifully chaotic.
So at the start of each turn, a Savasku player rolls a bunch of dice to see how much energy their ship generates. Get a great roll, like this one, and you get a massive pool of 18 power points. You can boost your shields, power up a devastating weapon pulse, and still have energy left over to maneuver. You feel absolutely unstoppable.
But on the very next turn, you could roll this.
3 power points. All of a sudden, you can barely move, you can't raise shields, you can't fire your main weapons, you are a complete sitting duck. Playing the Savasku is this constant, thrilling gamble. You're trading raw power for extreme unpredictability.
And this huge contrast between the different factions, it really gets at the most important part of the game. So, for our final section, Your Universe, Your Rules. The game, at its heart, is a toolbox for creating your very own stories.
I mean, the rulebooks are just bursting with ideas to get you going. You can link your space battles to ground assaults, recreate scenes from your favorite sci-fi shows, design your own scenarios. The system is so flexible you can even, as the book cheekily suggests, build stats for a space-going Winnebago. Why not?
You see, Full Thrust isn't just about giving you a set of rules. It's about giving you the freedom to create. It hands you the keys to the shipyard, and it puts you in the command chair of the fleet. So the real question it leaves you with is, what are you going to do with them?